Well, good afternoon. I'm coming to you from 30A, Florida, and I'm in Old Blue. And I wanted to give you an update or a recap on the latest project. Now, a few months ago, I did a video on the top 5 mods for Old Blue in 2025. And that I've just finished it. And I did a video kind of documenting. Now, this is not a how-to video. It's probably a how long and what not to do video. But what I just accomplished was I changed out the tie rods, the idler arm, and the 2 upper ball joints. And it took me a little longer than I thought for a couple reasons. One, CJ Pony Parts forgot to send me a part, but I want to tell you, their return or customer service department is top notch. They got me the missing tie rod and I was able to finish the project. But in between doing this project, I got the flu and it kicked my tail. So I had to put this repair job kind of on hold. But now it's done and it's over. And what I'm gonna do is just show you some video clips of just this journey on project number 1 for 2025. So I hope you enjoy it. Well, Old Blue is on the DL. So what I'm going to do, now I've already done this on the other side. I'm changing out this upper ball joint, this tie rod, and I've just kind of cleaned up everything to get it ready. Just spent a ton of time underneath it. And then I'm gonna change the oil. And this is not a how-to video. What I'm gonna do is just kind of show you before and after. But here's kind of, these are the tools that I'm gonna be using. This little 2x4 is when I'm changing out the ball joint. And this tool, you just hit it really hard to break the tie rod free. You see this, here's the old tie rod from the other side. Now this idler arm, I did change that out as well. Here's the old upper ball joint. This is the new one. And I got all my parts from CJ Pony Parts. And this is just to clean it up. Just to clean up everything while I've got everything taken apart. But this, I did a video earlier this year, kind of like my top 5 projects. And one of them was to change out these parts right here. This is actually surprisingly easy to do. This is not. This is not hard. That's difficult. You've got to adjust, attach, just to make sure your 2 front wheel, your front discs are all lined up, the front wheels. But I'm actually missing a tie rod. CJ Pony, I ordered the packet that had the new tie rods, and my luck, they didn't come. But CJ Pony Parts was really great about getting the new part to me, so it should be here any day. And then we'll keep plugging away. But until then, let's see what happens. I have a very high-tech setup here. I've got a bucket with my phone sitting on top of it. And even though all my parts aren't in, I can still change out the upper ball joint, which that's what I'm gonna do right now. So, I've got this. Gonna need these pliers, 7/8 socket, 7/8 wrench, 1/2 inch socket, 1/2 inch wrench, and a rag. So first thing I'm gonna do is get a 2x4 wedged up underneath the wheel here, or the whatever that is. said this wasn't going to be a how-to video, and it's not, but I don't have anything else to do, so I need to jack this up just a little. A little more. Just a little more. Perfect. All right. Next thing I gotta do is get the cotter key out. I'm sure this is riveting. Good grief. There we go. And now I'm going to loosen this bolt, this nut. Not all the way, just almost all the way. Okay. It's not me. It's my Alabama fan neighbor. Now you gotta beat this out. There we go. Jack this up a little. All right, now we're gonna get this thing out. Those are man's hands. There it is. Yeah. It's just distilled water with alcohol. All right. Taking the new nut off. It's the new Carter key. You've got the little lock washer, the nut. Comes with new bolts. I like to put the little grease nozzle in first. It's in there now, and I'm gonna go ahead and throw some grease in it. I put some silicone or some synthetic grease. There we go. All right, tighten these up. Now the somewhat hard part. Now I'm gonna jack it up again. All right, this is definitely the hardest part. Okay, pull that. Well, it wasn't that bad. That wasn't that bad at all. So putting this on. Okay. Man hands. You don't see millennials with those. Well, maybe you do. I've seen a few. Well, I'm gonna have to get another eye-balm where that slide is. Okay, I found it. I think I found it. Now I'm gonna do a little more cleaning, and it's done. So that's the upper ball joint. I'm gonna let it down, but it's done. Hope you've enjoyed this part of the project. When I get the tie rod, that's next. See you soon. So I just watched the video of me changing out this ball joint, And in the past, when I've watched guys do how-to videos, sometimes I'll get a little frustrated because I can't see what they're doing. Well, that's why this is definitely not a how-to video. But I just wanted to review what I did. I changed out this ball joint. And to do that, you had to remove the old ball joint, put in these 4 screws, these 4 bolts with the locks and the nuts. You had to install the grease pin. You had to take the main bolt off. If you can see it right here. You let that down almost all the way. Not all the, you don't take it completely off. You go about 3/4 of the way. And then you have to hit this right here with a hammer to loosen it up. Once you get it loose, then you take the bolt off, and then you can push this this disc down to get it to unlock it, to release it. You take the old bolt joint out and you just do it in reverse. So as I mentioned earlier, this is not a how-to video. If anything, it just kind of shows you the projects that I'm doing to Old Blue. Maybe in the future I'll do a how-to, but I don't want to mislead anyone, because when I watched that video, I'm like, yeah, it's definitely not a how-to. It's maybe how long type video. So changing out the ball joint, it's not a hard job. There are some excellent videos. That's what I did. I watched a video to figure out how to do this, just like with the tie rod. So I just want to do a little clarification in case you were watching it. At the very beginning, I did say this is not a how-to, but now after watching it, I know what to do and what not to do when making a repair video. So on to the next project. All right, here we go. Today, my tie rod finally came in from CJ Pony Parts. So we have the tie rod pieces, the connector, and I want to say this one last time, this is not a how-to video, but what I am going to be doing today is removing this old tie rod and replacing it. And once I've done that, I'll be using this tool right here. You just stick it right in there. I'll try to give you as much info as I can. Take off that Carter key, that bolt. If it doesn't come out, this goes right there and you just whack it. So once that's done, both tie rods, the idler arm, and both upper ball joints have been replaced. And this project, my first modification or refresh of the year, will be done. So let's get into it. This is loosely put together. I've learned a lot since doing the first one, but it's really loose. So you can even just turn that. So once I get the old one off, I'm going to completely match it up, this one with the old one, and then start really tightening down. So there's a match. I've already put in the grease fittings. I'll tighten those. I like to put grease in it beforehand. I might not this time. I might just get it all on there and then throw the grease in. All right, let's now I'm going to start taking the old one off. Take out that pin, undo the nut, and see if it comes off. Okay, I have the old one out. Now I'm going to try to match the new one up exactly how that one is laid out, or get it as close as possible. All right, whew. That took some beating up with that big old hammer, but I got it out. I mean, that tool is worth, it was $19 from Harbor Freight, and it was worth every dollar. So if you're doing this job, I highly recommend grabbing that tool. See ya. Okay, before I get too far ahead of myself, I put both wheels back on just to make sure everything's in a line. There's the new, I haven't tightened it all down yet, but I do have the new nut and Carter key in this section. I've got to go tighten it up and then put those two brackets on. Give it a good eyeball test to make sure they're in line, and then tighten everything down and take it for a test drive. I don't know how this is gonna look, but everything's done. I've got the new tie rod, idler arm, it's all buttoned up, upper ball joint. I even changed the oil while I was underneath it. Tie rod, everything's buttoned up, upper ball joint. I did this last year. So that is project number 1 of 2025. Now I just gotta take it for a test drive. Well, there you go. Project number 1 in 2025 is in the books. I hope you enjoyed it. I don't know what project number 2 is gonna be. It might be the vinyl top. I might even work on the horn. But I'll keep you guessing. How about that? I'll keep you guessing. But I can't wait to do the next video. I mean, I love working on Old Blue. And if you have a classic car, please put in the comments. One, I want to just see it. I love all classic cars. I don't even if it's a Chevy, I love Chevys. Put it in the comments. But until then, be blessed and have an amazing day.